Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com. Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome in to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Welcome to Get Your Happy On Hour. I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons. Man, I got to start my show by saying this is 93.7 The Ticket. You guys are definitely in the mix. I always start my shows off by giving Matt Warner and Empire Fencing a big shout out. Appreciate all the love that you guys continue to show me. It means the world to me. And I do not take it for granted. Well, as you know, last Sunday was Easter and we didn't have a show, so I'm back. I'm glad that you guys had a safe, and I'm hoping that you had a safe Easter Sunday. So I just want to take a minute before I get to my guests. I want to talk to you for a minute. And I just want you to keep an open mind. Not saying you need to agree with me. I just need an open mind. The world is full of adversity. I see it every day. And I want to make this point because a lot of times, a lot of people that follow my social media, they're under the impression that my life is different from theirs. They think everything is always perfect because I'm always talking about stay positive, stay humble. Let me explain something to you. I don't have a choice but to stay positive and stay humble. Because when I didn't do those two things, there was a lot of consequences that came with my actions. So that's the basis of why I do that. So don't think because you see me making videos, dancing, listening to music before most of y'all were born. But that's a personal choice. I make every single morning. And a lot of the slogans, and I call them Rickyisms that I use, they're funny, but they're real. This world is very, very challenging. Life is very challenging. And I just feel like, for me personally, for those and the people that ask these questions in my private message, this is for you. I make a personal choice to be happy every single day. Is my life perfect? Absolutely not. Do I have everything I want? Absolutely not. But one thing I can say is when I focus on the positive and I stay happy, I make better decisions. So for me, that works. I had so many people asking me these questions, I thought I just invited them to listen to the show. And let me explain it once to everybody so they'll understand. No, Ricky Simmons' life is not perfect. Okay. I just choose to be happy. So with that being said, I want to also encourage you, anybody, and maybe tell somebody, focus on the positive. Negative is already covered. And also be yourself because you're an original. Anything else that you try to do or be or whoever, you're a copy. I'd rather have the original than a copy. Tonight, I got a guest. Now we're gonna talk to him about a lot of things, but I'm gonna give y'all a little sneak peek about one thing we're gonna talk about is his sport of choice, something that I could never do. So we'll get to that. I just wanted to give y'all that little teaser. This guy does some amazing things, but his sport, I prefer to be a spectator. Clyde Johnson, welcome to the show, man.
I appreciate it, Ricky, man. It's always an honor to catch up with you and to have the opportunity to speak with you here at the Get Your Happy On.
Hey, listen, man, I'll be honest with you. I'm honored to have you. I think this is the second time I've had you.
Yes, it is.
And I appreciate you coming back, because I know you're a busy man, and I appreciate you making time for me. I like when people come in studio because the conversations are a little easier to have versus, I'm not against people zooming in, but sometimes internet issues and you're talking at the same time. So sometimes the message can get lost in the presentation. But Clyde, I want you to do me and do all of us a huge favor by taking us back. Okay. And we're going to, for those of you that don't know this young man, we got to go backwards before we can go forward. So, man, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. Grew up in a very humble situation throughout my childhood up until my early teenage years before moving here to Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
Yep, moved here to Lincoln. But like I said, originally from Chicago.
You said you grew up in a humble. Go into detail about that.
Like I said, I'm from the south side of Chicago. I grew up in what you would call the projects. A lot of people call the ghetto.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm from a particular project by the name of the Dearborn Homes. And I grew up on the low end side of the city, closer to the White Sox Stadium. So I'm a huge White Sox fan.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, my area is very humble, very, very blue collar. And some prefer to it as the trenches.
In other words, there was some extra curricular activities going on.
Absolutely. You had to make a decision every morning, basically which route you would take.
Wow.
You had the option. You definitely had the option to whether you want to go right or left. But once you made that decision, you had to stand firm in it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like to me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't grow up in Chicago, but I got a lot of relatives that live in the Maywood area. And man, I wasn't comfortable there. So growing up on the south side of Chicago, I'm taking it that was a pretty rough neighborhood.
Definitely a rough neighborhood. And you said you have relatives in Maywood.
Yeah.
So coming from where I come from, we would have preferred to be in Maywood. that sounds like luxury coming from where I come from.
Well, that's why I brought it up, because every time I would go to Maywood, my cousins would take me into the city. And they had and I'm not sure if I get this name right, but there was a street called Madison Avenue.
Absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely.
Dude, you're talking about uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's a very, very uncomfortable street for me.
Especially if you're not from the city.
Right.
Yeah, definitely can be.
I ain't used to people coming up to my car window at a red light, trying to sell me water or anything. No, dude, but
washing windows.
Yeah, see, man, look at man. I stay at the car while I leave. Don't look at me like that. Matter of fact, you finna streak up my windows and everything. No. Yep. But no, on a serious tip, man, growing up in that tough environment, what made you want to get out of there?
Yeah, just my upbringing. My mom did an extremely good job at instilling values in us that were bigger than just our environment.
Gotcha.
And when I say us, I have 4 other siblings. I have 2 older, 2 younger. So I'm the middle child.
Okay.
So there was a lot of independence that I had to learn also.
Right.
During that time. But a big part of it was coming from my mom. I had uncles around at all times. And then my older siblings led by example.
Let me ask you this. Did you ever get approached by, or should I say, were you ever tempted to join gangs or anything?
Gang affiliation is always right at your doorstep. And it's one of those things for a lot of individuals is you can't avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
But in our city in particular, athletes get a pass.
Oh, okay.
Athletes get a pass, and that was one of the things to where, because I was indulged in sports heavily, I really didn't have time to deal with a lot of the other curricular activities.
Well, the reason why I said, because I've heard rumors from my relatives, and I've also seen stuff, whether it be social media, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of the challenges.
Absolutely.
Trying to find a nice way to say it.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the challenges
Uh-huh.
that the South Side was facing. And, for you to come through that, I noticed you said sports kind of.
Yep.
What sports did you?
Yeah, growing up, you roll whatever type of equipment out. I was all about it, whether it was soccer, baseball, football, basketball. And boxing was one of those things to where it just, that was on the menu at all times.
See, that was that sport I was talking about. I ain't gonna be able to do all that.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get back to the boxing, yeah. But go ahead.
No, definitely. So locally, we had boys and girls clubs in my neighborhood,
mm-hmm.
and we had individuals who may have had other opportunities to lead a neighborhood and then come back and give to our community.
Oh, gotcha.
So with those type of leaders being back in the community and introducing sports, whether it's sports, music, arts, and like I said, I had uncles who are military men.
Oh, gotcha.
So when they would come home, there was some structure that you learned from them as well. And one of my uncles, he was huge into the arts. He's a big time guy who he enjoys skateboarding. So even growing up, I found myself on skateboards from time to time.
Wow, that's different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there and I'm listening to you and I'm thinking to myself, South Side Chicago, rough neighborhood, humble beginnings.
Yep.
But somehow you navigated that. So what age were you when you actually left Southside?
Yep. We moved to Lincoln. I was 14. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I was a teenager. And right around that, from about 12 to 14, I would say things were beginning to get heavy for my age group. And like I said, my mom had kept her head down and grinded hard and accomplished some things to put us in a better situation to where moving to Lincoln, Nebraska was an option.
Okay, gotcha. So when y'all moved to Nebraska, did you have family here?
Actually, I had an uncle that lived here. He had moved here because he was working for BNSF Railroad.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So he introduced my mom to Lincoln. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember my mom saying she was coming to Lincoln to visit my uncle. And I said to her, that's what the Cornhuskers are.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I was a huge sports fan. And you got to remember, in that era, that 96, 97 era, when things were booming here,
right?
Michael Jordan was also booming
in
Chicago.
Yes.
So sports was big. So I knew who national champions were, and whether it was football, baseball, basketball. So I was familiar with where she was headed.
Gotcha.
And I remember seeing them kind of have cameras panning through downtown Lincoln, getting ready for the big game. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that don't sound like a bad destination, Mom.
So you guys, when she came out to visit,
yep,
she liked what she saw apparently. And she also probably saw a way for you to, and your siblings to get up out of here.
Absolutely. She came for a job interview, was offered the job.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Accepted it, and then came and she basically told him, I need 30 days in order to make this move. And they granted her the 30 days. And within 15 days, we were here in Lincoln.
Wow. So when you got to Lincoln, it was nothing like the South Side of Chicago, I'm sure.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You want to tell us about the culture shock?
Yeah. It was more like the north side of Chicago, closer to the Cubs stadium.
Okay.
The diversity. I mean, with Lincoln being a huge melting pot, And so was the north side of Chicago. And some parts of the south side of Chicago have diversity as well as far as the school system.
Okay, gotcha.
So making that adjustment wasn't too hard because friends of mine, we used to get on a train and we would go up to watch the Cubs and White Sox play.
Yeah,
at Wrigley,
right.
Or go to the west side of Chicago and watch sporting events at the United Center or what have you.
Man, growing up at the time when Michael Jordan was there, man, that had to be real exciting too, though, because that dude was handling his business and he basically put the team on his back because everybody wanted to be like Mike.
Absolutely. It's one of those things to where that's a comparison from the city of Lincoln in Chicago at that time. How when the Husker football team get ready to take the field, how the entire city shuts down.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to worry about any curricular activities when Mike and Pippen was getting ready to take the court because everybody was glued to their television.
Yeah. Well, man, I'll be honest with you. Coming here from Chicago, I mean, I know one thing that wasn't an issue because I've been up there in the winter. The weather ain't much better in Chicago. It was probably worse because that wind, man, the windy city, they earned that.
Absolutely. And especially how in the wintertime that breeze come off that lakefront. It hits a little different than the wind does here in Lincoln.
Yeah. Well, you know what though, Clyde? I'm really glad that you did come, man, because it gave me the opportunity to meet you.
I appreciate it. Likewise.
Yeah. And I understand you're friends with my son.
T-Bull, one of the best to ever do it on the court, whether on the court or on the sideline. A quick story. Before we dive into the bigger storyline, T-Bull and I play a ton of golf together. Ton of golf together.
Oh, man. I apologize for him.
No, the thing I love the most about the kid is he's no longer a kid, but he was younger than me in high school. It's his competitive side.
Oh,
he's a competitor. And not comparing myself or T-Bull to this particular individual, but one of my favorite competitors is Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And you can see it in him when he used to speak or when he was on the court that, he not only did he want to tear your heart out, but he wanted to make sure that it wasn't replaceable. T-Bull has that in him as well. He has that DNA packages also. So that it's one of those things when we on the golf course, although we both kind of introverts and don't say a lot, but we quietly keeping real close look at the score.
Well, I know for a fact that you play golf with him because he is definitely competitive. I mean, man, I'm talking about don't want to lose nothing at no sport.
Shout out T-Bull, national champion at the junior college level
big
this year.
Shout out to Kirkwood Community College for winning it all, man.
Definitely.
Junior college. Matter of fact, I talked to him the other day, and he said I guess they go to the White House.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that should be an interesting trip for him. But no, I just want to get back to what we were talking about. You actually got to Lincoln. And so what was next when you
pursued basketball in a tremendous way? I was always, when it boiled down to it, basketball was one of those top two sports that captured my attention and kept it at all times.
Okay, so you was a hooper.
Yeah. And I was one of those guys who enjoyed the defensive end of the game more than the offensive end.
Gotcha.
So I looked forward to the nights where it was the guy on the other end who was the big time guy, and knowing that was my assignment. But getting here gave me an opportunity to pursue basketball, not just at a high school level, but it gave me an opportunity to earn an education as well, because I played at the collegiate level also.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Now, you went and played the word. Tell us about your college career.
Yep, I left high school, went on to Southeast Community College in Beatrice, played down there for a coach named Coach Wooten. I believe he's still the Southeast Community College men's basketball coach now that they're here in Lincoln. So I played down there, had a couple of different opportunities through recruitment, end up deciding to play at the next level at Chadron State.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So I played at the D2 level. Tremendous opportunity to go in there and continue to grow my game. my position changed when I got there, which was a blessing because the higher up you went in these rankings of basketball from from high school to junior college to now the NCAA, the guys got bigger.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And Clyde was no longer a 4 at 6'2", 6'3". So I became a point guard really quick. And that gave me an opportunity to spend some time over in Italy, pursuing a professional career. It was a short stint, but it was an opportunity.
Yeah, you got a chance to go and see.
Yep, and very grateful for not just that opportunity, but now having 2 college degrees as well.
Oh man, see that's success to me. You know, because I'm going in my head now. I'm going back thinking about Southside Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, where the odds were definitely stacked against you.
Yep.
You know, and there was probably a lot of temptation or a lot of opportunities to make bad choices.
Definitely.
And you parlayed that all the way into college and a pro career with education behind it.
Absolutely.
Man, that's congratulations on that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I love giving people props, man. That's one of the things that seems to be lacking in our society. If we would be as quick to give props as we are to give insults, I think this world could be just a little different.
Yeah, it's different how those prayers hit for you and kind of guide you. Those prayers of your grandmother, grandfather.
Oh, absolutely.
Your parents praying for you.
Man, I got to admit.
There's some guidance in that.
You just struck a nerve there. I know my mom, rest in peace, Mom, and I would say my dad as well, both in heaven now. But, man, I know my mother, her knees had to be raw from praying for me because I was doing way too much. And somehow I was given another opportunity, so I can definitely relate to that. I want you to tell us, man, after you kind of put basketball and you got your education, then you got out into the real world.
Yeah. Yep. A part of what I've always wanted to do because of sports was to work in nutrition and personal training and fitness. So part of what I did was I studied for kinesiology, the study of muscles. So when I came from Italy, one of the first 9-to-5 jobs, real jobs I had was working at a fitness facility. I was a general manager at a fitness facility and pursued fitness and began to learn the business side and use that business side of my degree then.
So you did that here in Lincoln?
I did that here in Lincoln.
Okay.
I came back from overseas, stayed here in Lincoln. Yep.
Okay, now after you got back here and you pretty much settled down, then is this when you decided to pursue this current profession?
Part of it was what made me lock in Lincoln was I was courting my wife at the time.
Okay.
Yep, and she was attending the university because I'm a couple of years older than her. She was attending the university, so courting her at the same time, and then rewind back to Chicago. One of my uncles that I spoke of, I used to go spend some of the summers in Joliet, Illinois, with my mom's youngest brother, and he's a huge sports guy: baseball, basketball, boxing.
Okay.
So when I used to go spend time with him in Joliet, and he had 2 sons, one was my exact age, one was about 2 years younger than us. We spent a lot of time in the marching band, playing basketball and boxing, and watching Roy Jones Jr. So I've always enjoyed the discipline of sports.
Gotcha.
There's no other discipline like boxing.
I second that because I couldn't do it. That's why I was saying at the beginning of the show, man, I ain't no. Hey, look, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and get into this boxing career. Absolutely. Don't y'all go nowhere. This is 93.7 The Ticket to Get You Happy on Hour. We'll be right back.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Hey, we back. Man, look here. Before I get back to my guest, I gotta check with Bach, man. I think we got a comment over there, Bach. What's going on?
Yeah, we got a comment here from Isaac. He texts in 402-464-5685 on the Sartor Heyman text line. He says, no matter what I'm going through, I can always count on this show to solidify me. Thanks, Ricky, from Isaac in Lincoln.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Hey, I got a text from Steve Sipple, man. We might be moving on up around this camp. We got Steve Sipple out there checking. But let me answer your question, Steve. Ain't no boxing in my ever gonna be in my future or ever gonna be, period. Man, look, matter of fact, if you see me in a boxing ring, you start running because I'm gonna be running right behind you. But no, big shout out to Steve Sipple, man. I really appreciate you showing love to the show. Really, like, you know, man, I don't take anything for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads me to ask you this question. This boxing now, you was just starting to tell us about that.
Yeah.
What's going on, man? How did you get from where you came from to boxing? I'm just curious.
Yep, like I said, spending time with my uncle in Joliet sparked my interest in boxing. And I always told myself, hey, listen, when I'm done playing basketball, at some point, I wanted to try the Golden Gloves. So while working at that fitness facility, I began seeing this older gentleman. He used to come in right away in the mornings and work out. And I watched him for a couple of weeks. And then I remember telling myself, today I'm going to go walk up to him and see if he has a boxing background, because the things he wore, the type of workouts he did, kind of reminded me of boxing training.
Okay, gotcha.
And the day that I was getting ready to approach him, he was thinking the same thing. And then he introduced me to just working on the mitts, working on the heavy bag, proper stands, kind of fine tuning some of those things that my uncle had began to teach me.
Wow, man! You know, now this is coming from a guy that would not even dream of being a boxer, but I do have some curiosity about it. How do you maintain your composure, man? Because I mean, as a human being. Come on, man! Yeah. You hit me in the face, man. It's a problem. I mean,
yeah. Without the technique, you can forget about it, because the thing about boxing is you play football, you play basketball, you play hockey, you might even play rugby. You can't play boxing.
That's my point.
You can't play boxing.
That's my point right there.
The moment two things can happen: the moment you lose your composure, or your endurance isn't there. Those two things turn the toughest of guys to cowards.
I can understand that because, you know, I've seen from the outside looking in. They show you the glamour. You know, like me, I grew up watching Muhammad Ali. I just thought he was the coolest thing in the world, man. This dude's dancing around the ring, hitting people, not getting hit most of the time. I mean, and then talk a lot of trash afterwards and then bag it up, you know, predicting rounds. I'm not saying that you would need to do that, but I'm just curious, man. Like, how long have you been actually boxing?
I've been boxing now. My first Golden Gloves was 2014. I fought in the novice Golden Glove tournament. I won that tournament. And then the next year, you move on to what they call open. And then you can start qualifying for nationals. And I continued to win and began going to the national Golden Glove tournament.
So you've had a lot of success so far?
Yeah, my amateur career was a really good run, I would think, because like I said, I came into it as a novice, began to work my way through the ranks, went on to the national tournament a handful of different times, finished as high as third in the nation at one point.
Wow.
And I remember there was times where I would look online for local bouts or local fight cards, and then I would just pop up. I wouldn't have a trainer. I wouldn't have a corner. I would just go. and because I knew I needed to get the rounds in, win, lose, or draw. I just needed to get the rounds in to continue to get better. And one of the individuals who's one of my head trainers now is Patrick One Punch Thompson.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I used to watch him box locally. And he used to come to the F Street Rec and play basketball with us. And I remember having a conversation with him and telling him, hey, listen, Pat, man, I just came back from Ord, Nebraska, and I just won this tournament in Ord, Nebraska. He said, who cornered you? I say, Dominique was there with me, but I didn't really have a corner. You know, you won? Yeah, I won. So it was one of those things to where you have to be self-driven. You have to be self-motivated. Because still to this day now, preparing for fights and preparing for bouts in the way I do, my alarm goes off at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I walk the dog quickly, and then I'm off to the gym to run miles, strength training, to get my day started.
That's a lot of dedication, man.
I'm up before the sun comes up. I'm back home before the sun comes up.
Wow. Let me ask you this, man. You had mentioned something before the show about there was a gym that you work out at, and there was an opportunity for youth.
Yep, absolutely. Southside Boxing. Big shout out to Southside Boxing. That's housed over at the complex, and the complex is located where the old Champion Fun Center used to be.
Yes.
That is now the Southside Boxing Gym, and it's called the Complex. So that's where we host bouts, professional bouts, and amateur bouts. It's a venue for multiple things, but it's a boxing gym first.
Got you. And you said youth can participate?
Absolutely. Monday through Friday, there's classes for the youth. And it's typically there's in between 35 and 45 kids there a night learning the fundamentals of boxing, whether they want to go on the box or not, or if it's just for structure, or if it's just for a workout purposes. And then there's also adults that take the classes.
Gotcha.
But the focus is the youth of Lincoln and the surrounding areas. And Tommy does a great job of making Southside Boxing and the Complex feel like home to everybody, whether you are a professional like myself or a novice amateur who just walked into the door.
Wow. Only way I walk into the door is I'm just coming to see you and say hello.
You're more than welcome.
I don't need no gloves, man. We ain't got to do all that. But listen, now, if I understand correctly, you got a bout coming up.
Absolutely. Yep. It'll be my third professional fight. It'll be May 3rd, live at the Complex here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Like I said, it's the old Champions Fund Center. Celebrating Cinco de Mayo. It's an honor to fight on this holiday, because growing up, you used to watch the big timers fight on this particular holiday. You know, the Floyd Mayweathers, the Canelos, those type of guys who highlighted this particular holiday, and I look forward to putting on a show for Cinco de Mayo.
Well, see, y'all, he being real humble right now and being real modest. I respect that, but you know me, I'm finna put it out there.
Yeah.
Who the main event?
I'll be the main event.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
I'll be the main event.
That's what I'm talking about, right there. Well, listen, man,
definitely.
I want you to know, man, that I'm extremely proud of you, because
appreciate it.
Anybody that's doing something that's going to be what I would consider positive or constructive, I got to applaud that. I'm not going to applaud negativity.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to applaud all these dividing tactics that are being used. I'm not going to co-sign that.
Absolutely.
You know, so what you're doing, even though I wouldn't dare try it, I still admire it. If that makes sense.
I appreciate it, but a lot of it is, and I don't want to take a lot of credit, because I partner with some amazing people and companies that help put not necessarily put on the show, but that's Tommy and the Complex. But in order for me to be prepared for these bouts and to perform at my level, I do recovery at Power Sculpting and Wellness. I partner with Leading, Motivating, and Development, which has an office here in Lincoln, and they provide a service. You can look further into that. And then other individuals, like I even work with one of the old heads here in Lincoln, Aaron Davis, who helps provide some information and some backing to make things possible, along with remodeling companies like Valentine Remodeling Company, along with Sid Dillon.
Yes.
They're one of the ones who back me up in Doolittle Construction, you know, and the Boys and Girls Club of Lincoln. These companies that invest in me so that we can invest into the youth and make things possible.
I think that's very important, because a lot of times when we get into certain business ventures, there's not always a lot of support.
Absolutely.
And I'm a firm believer in nobody can do these things alone. I mean, some people maybe, but the majority of the people, we all need help.
Yeah, and one of the big things is a big shout out to yourself, allowing me this platform. I don't have this platform. You know,
well, you're very welcome, and we will have you back, man. Because
I appreciate it.
I will always stand behind something that's positive. Like I say, now if you're out here doing things that's gonna bring negativity to the world, I'm probably gonna give you 50 feet.
Yeah, I agree with you. I
mean, and I'm not saying, hey, I'm too good for that. It's just that I already been there and done that.
Yep.
You know, I got T-shirts to prove it. So I don't really need to do any more negativity. I don't need to do any more research in that department.
Yeah.
I've already did that, dealt with the consequences, and moved on with my life. So, no, man, you're welcome here on my show anytime you have time, because I love the fact that you're not only doing this for you, you're still trying to help others. And that's a big part of what I do. I travel all over this country speaking, but it ain't really to build myself up. It's to give others the understanding that if I can if I can turn things around and make a positive out of negative, there's hope for you.
I like that.
And that to me is very important because a lot of people, they suffer in silence. And then when they hear me like share my story and offer advice, what they understand is, man, I'm not as sick as he is. And if there's hope for him, there's hope for me. And that's kind of the goal. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're a lost cause.
Nope, understandable.
And I know by you opening up this, you and your business partners providing this service to where these youth and adults can be a part of it. See, that's called structure.
Yep.
And I think structure is very important in everybody's life. I'm a big fan of structure because discipline and is so important in my life to this day that without it, I don't think I can succeed. I sure won't be successful because I've already proven that to myself too. When I just go at things without thinking and I don't have a plan, it didn't always, most of the time it didn't turn out good for me.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with y'all, it's hard to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
And the training that you have to go through to maintain whatever you need to maintain, man, there's a whole bunch of people going to pass on that.
Yeah, because right now I'm running off lettuce wraps today. I can only take in 2,000 calories right now trying to make this particular weight, this catch weight.
Man, I ate 2,000 calories before daybreak. And you go to, this is nighttime.
Yeah.
Oh man. So is there a certain weight class that you're fighting in?
Yeah, I'm technically a cruiserweight, but for this particular fight, I have to come in at 195. Typically, I walk around at 210 pounds. Okay. So for this fight, I agreed to 195. So I did have to cut some weight and do it the right way.
When you cut weight, what's that like though? I mean, you don't eat. I mean, lettuce. Come on, man.
Yeah, I had some turkey along with that lettuce. It was delicious, to be honest. But yeah, that's a big part of it. It's portion control, and then being extremely disciplined on what I'm actually eating. So then for 10 weeks, I'm a huge fan of. I'm an old fashioned connoisseur. I'm a great cigar connoisseur. But for 10 weeks, I don't have any of it.
Gotcha.
So then the only thing I'm putting in my body is something that's going to provide hydration and as minimum sugar as possible in order to perform at a high level. You have to be able to perform, and especially at this realm in my career. I'm no spring chicken.
I got you.
So that I can't cut any corners. And like I said, a big part of why I enjoy it is because of the discipline. I pride myself on hanging my head on my hard work and my discipline.
That's got to be very important, man, because I don't know, man. Like I said, I have no knowledge on what all you have to do, but I do know there's a lot behind the scenes that nobody sees.
Absolutely.
Maybe Dominique. She's maybe Dominique.
That's my nutritionist. She makes sure if I'm because it's talking about competitive. She's extremely competitive, and one of her number one rules is if you're going to do it, 2, 1, you need to do it the right way. 2, you better win.
Big shout out to Dee. Man, I'm really proud of her too, man, for what she's doing, and and
I appreciate it.
And I guess I know y'all got 2 little bosses there too.
Yeah, they get it from their mom. Kyrie's 7, Kennedy, she's 2. And they're a splitting image of their mom.
So they bosses.
Busy and bossy.
No, man, I just had to give your family some love because they just good, good people, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I like good people. And this sounds a little repetitive, but I just have to keep saying this to make sure that people understand. I respect good people. I respect positive people.
Yeah.
I don't have no love for disrespect and I don't have no love for people that's choosing to make negative choices that's going to impact everybody around them.
Amen.
I can't co-sign that.
Amen.
Well, we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back and wrap this show up. Don't y'all go nowhere. This is 93.7 The Ticket. It's to Get You Happy on Hour.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Hey, we back. Man, listen, I'm just very, very, very excited about this show tonight, and I can't thank my guests enough for coming on. And man, anytime somebody's doing big things, I'm really, really serious about trying to get them on the air, man, because to me, I think that's important. Now, you were saying you got a main event this coming Saturday night.
Absolutely.
How does anybody, if someone wants to attend, how do they go about that?
Yep, you can go to thecomplex.com and purchase the tickets that are left. Right now, I feel like it's going to be a sold-out event because we have some other big names that will be on the undercard as well. Or you can show up to the complex and be able to get general admission tickets for the bouts. Also, the doors open at 6. First bell rings at 7. Cold drinks, great food, great service, great environment at the complex here in Lincoln, the home of Southside Boxing Gym.
And the young man you mentioned, that your corner man, I guess. Can you give let's give them some shout outs. Right
Yeah. My team, my training team, Patrick Thompson, Eric Howard, Lance Phillips, these are guys that are extremely humble. They play the background,
right?
But they play a huge role 5-6 days a week in helping me prepare for my bouts, checking in on me, making sure that nutrition is right, making sure that my recovery is going well, and then making sure that I'm working on all the necessary skills when we're in the gym, whether that's defense, footwork, head movement. My team, that's second to none.
Got you, man. Well, I just want to thank you for taking time out. I want everybody to understand. I know I say I thank you a lot, but I just think as a society as a whole, we don't say thank you enough.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I appreciate you sharing your platform because, like I said, a lot of time, quote unquote, the OGs aren't pouring into the next generation. And like I said, yourself, guys that off the top of my head that I can think of that I'm grateful for it locally in the city, yourself, Aaron Davis, John Goodwin, guys like that who's intentionally pouring into the next generation and giving me the opportunity to do the same for those who coming up behind me.
Man, well, some people you named are good people too, man. Those are like little brothers to me, and I respect them. But before I let you go, I gotta ask my final question, man. With all this stuff you got going on, man, how does Clyde Johnson get his happy on?
A tea party with my daughter, a Nerf gun war with my son, a great dinner with my wife, and a win Saturday night live at the complex here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Let's go.
Hey, listen, we're going to wrap the show up the same way we do every week. Every day you blessed to see, it's just another day in paradise. And no matter what, you got to get your happy on. Go! We'll see y'all next Sunday.